welcome to Big Sister. Thank you for stopping by my channel today. If you have not already done it, I hope you consider subscribing to this channel. It's my baby channel, my new channel. I do have another channel. It's called A Lighthouse, for those of you that don't know. And yeah, that channel's pretty fun, and we talk about different things. This is where I talk to people about the Lord and living our life as believers. Over here on this channel is where I talk about practical things, everyday things, even though there's a bit of that over there as well. But this channel is just dedicated to, hey, what's up? Okay, so I did a video earlier, and I was talking about teens and teens dating other teens that have children, and I did give my 2 cents on that. My opinion is my opinion is my opinion. It's not the end all be all, so keep that in mind. And so I've decided to do something with adults as well. You're dating someone who has children. Now, the things to consider as an adult is completely different from what you may have to consider when you're dealing with, as a teenager. As an adult, you're now an adult, you have your own thing, you're independent, you should be. And you may meet somebody who has children, and so you're going, what should I do? Well, there are a lot of things to think about. Number one, if you don't have children and you don't have a desire to have children, or you don't have children, but you may desire children later on, and right now you just want to live your life, then you probably wouldn't date someone with children. Because even though, let's say this person may have their life established and everything, they even may have children who are older, their priority is still going to be the same. Like the parents who are actually responsible parents, their children are their priority. So for example, when I was single, I would not date someone who had a child, because how I was when I was young, I just want to be able to go have fun. I mean, one may say it was selfish, but when you're young, you're not thinking about anything but yourself and what you want to do. And that's just how I was. So I didn't. I think I remember once talking with someone, he had children, and that conversation was very difficult to have. Like, he had every few seconds, he had to stop to say something, or actually interrupt. Hold on. He's saying something to his children. He had daughters. And I'll say, hold. Other time he's interrupting. So that conversation took a really long time. And that was just not something at that point that I was like, nah, I don't want to do this. I don't have to do that. And they have different priorities. Now, I had a friend when I was single. She was one of the girls hanging out with us, but she got pregnant. And when she got pregnant, things were different. Like, we still hung out with her and everything, but she could not do the same things that we were doing anymore. If she did the same things that we were doing, she tried to go out when we did. She had to get a babysitter. She had to get arrangements. She had to leave at a certain time. She was just completely different. Her priorities different. If we try to do some, girls' night, she couldn't really do girls' night with us. When we went to her house, it was just different. We'll try to hang out with her, do girls' night at her place, but her priority is still different, right? The baby's crying. She has to change the baby. All these things. We didn't mind. She was our friend, but it was a huge contrast compared to what we were doing before. So there is a lot involved in it. Okay, so if I am a friend and she was like one of my homegirls, a really good friend, and it was, even then I noticed the difference and how much more effort and how much more patience and how much more things you had to sort of like just not do because she had a baby. Then I'm trying to imagine what it would be like for a man who will be trying to get to know her. All right, so it is definitely something that it's definitely a commitment, and you have to think about it. So when I was single, I was like, no, because I was single, I didn't have children, and I don't have to think about all of that. Let me talk about, like, even my friend. She would want to go to the mall. So, okay, we go, or I pick her up. Well, she's bringing a car seat. She's putting a car seat in the car. I have to change how I set things up in my car. And like with me, with cars, I love cars. So my car will be clean, okay? But I've got to put the car seat in. No problem, but I noticed that change. I got to put the car seat in. I didn't even know that there's this other thing in the middle for the car seats. Then she has to take the baby out of the car and put the baby in the the stroller, and then now I'm putting stuff in the trunk of the car. So it was just like, wow, okay. Then when we get out, I'm used to just getting out of the car, boom, boom, boom. But now I gotta wait and be like, okay, I'm helping. Oh, where the hooks at? Where the hooks to put the stroller together? You know, so I imagine that will be different. So me being single, I knew right then and there that I did not want to date anybody who had children, because I didn't hate kids. But if you're young and you just want to be on the go, just don't do it, no matter how attractive the person is, because you have to be serious, and you can't just jump in their life and jump out of their life and hurt their feelings. You don't like them anymore, you don't like their children. If you don't like kids, don't be around other kids. You can hurt that woman's kids or hurt that man's children, because your kids can pick up on you. They know that you don't like them. They can pick up on your, they call it energy, but they pick up on your spirit. They know you don't like them. They know you're being fake. They know you're being extra. They know you're trying, and they're not gonna like you. And then they go from being little kids to teens. You know, teens, they get a little quirky. So it is a commitment. Once you decide to date someone who with children, you have to consider their children, and consider that in your plans and what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. So if you can't do that, then just don't be with that person. If you're not a parent already, then you may not want to do that. All right. Now, sometimes people, you still date someone with a child, but then your priority is now, oh, you want to have a baby so you can be relevant. You just don't want to do that, okay? It's going to be a mess. You're going to be trying to compete, and it's just not going to go the way that you think that it will. Now, some people, it'll work out because they want to have children, and perhaps they never got to have a child, or because of, something, they can't have children, they can't produce, and then they may have had a child that they've lost. So sometimes you will end up having a relationship with a person who has children, and they don't have a mom or something like that, and everything works out and everything is great. But when you're dating anyone who has a child, you must see that child as if that child was your own, okay? That way you are not having these divided feelings about them that's going to show. You also have to understand, again, you are not going to be the priority. It's not that you can't have a healthy relationship, but if there's a need, that man, that woman has to be able to take care of the needs of the child. Someone being a single parent is not a disease. I've read about it. Make it seem like you have leprosy or something. It's a family dynamic. Things happen to people. Some people make choices and they end up being single parents. Others could be married and the spouse passed away, or you got a divorce. Things happen. Now you have the family dynamics. There's nothing that says, oh, if you're you're in a single home or whatever, statistics shows. I don't care about statistics, okay? It's about how you raise your child and how you do, because there's a lot of people who they are raised with both their parents and they are just plumb cray, doing a lot of things. So yes, is it helpful? Absolutely. I'm not against the mom and dad being in the house, all that good stuff, but I'm saying that you should not automatically put the scarlet letter on yourself and be ashamed. Oh, I'm a single parent, I have kids. You say you have kids like you're saying you got COVID. So you just have to realize that they're going to be priority, and understanding that and seeing that child as if that they were your own, and not trying to jump in and change the way that man or woman is with their children. You never just want to come in and you're trying to make changes, okay? If you're not married, you need to chill, okay? And prior to marriage, you need to understand that you all share the same values and beliefs, you have the same core values and all of that, and getting to know the children, and then looking at how things are done. And you can make a decision, do I really want to be with this person? Because perhaps the way they do things, the way that they handle things may be very different from what you believe in and how you live. So rather than trying to go in there, trying to be, Captain Changes, you can look at that and say, you know what, you guys are cool or whatever. You talk to whoever it is, you see that they have certain practices and certain things that you don't believe in. Rather than going in and marrying the person, trying to change the dynamics of that, you can say, you know what, that's probably not for me. That's not going to work. All right. Never compete with their children. Never try to talk down a man or a woman and how they are dealing with their children. You are there to observe. When you're getting to know them, that's why you probably shouldn't know their children right away, but you get to know them as a person. And then if things happen and then you end up knowing the children, you're still studying the children, knowing them, understanding them as individuals, and then seeing that if you can really be a fit in this family and not trying to force it, not being jealous of their daughters, not being jealous of their sons, because there are some men that are like that. They just get jealous and they are competing with the sons. Sons are just naturally going to be protective of their moms. So will daughters, so will children. It's always been them. They've always been, the perfect 3 or the perfect 4, and here you come, okay? And so you have to understand that. So there's so many things to think about. Can you do this? And it's not just, you're just gonna date him or her until they turn 18, they can get them out of this house, you're gonna send them off to boarding school like in the movies. No, children are a lifetime thing. And so guys, you just have to figure all that out. And when you come together, and then even if let's say you both have children, you still need to make sure that you share the same core values and beliefs. Let's say I have very well-behaved children. Everywhere I go, people are always surprised from they were little how well-behaved they are. They're not at home in a concentration camp. My children just happen to be well-behaved, and I'm thankful to God for that. But let's say, and they know how to say please and thank you and excuse me, and there's a way we do things. But if you're interested in someone and they have children, that's just running the planes. They are running up the walls, they're disrespectful, they're rude. You got to think, can you be with this individual? You're not going to change that. Stop trying to be Captain Changes. You're not going to be able to change that, okay? He may raise his daughter different. She may raise her daughter different. And so now you may have a daughter who's respectful and you teach her certain things, and this person has a daughter that's kind of out there. You don't want to bring those two together, all right? That's water and vinegar, oil and vinegar. And he may have a son that's different. He's doing this. You have this other one that's kind of doing his own thing. Is this a good fit? So you have to think beyond yourself and beyond that you like this person and beyond that you vibe. You have to look at all the parts, all aspects of this individual, the children, and say, can I do this? And then when you do that, you're getting to know them, understanding you cannot be the priority. At the same time, I'm not saying you're supposed to be where they just totally have no time for you. They have to make time. You're just another part of the big picture, the big part of their lives. So they can't just ignore you and say, well, I have kids, I gotta go all the time. No, but you're understanding like these are children. And so from now until they're older, they're always gonna be in your life in some shape, form, or some shape, form, or fashion. Can you do that? Really examine yourself. Can I do this? Do I want to share my life this way? Do you want to be single and free and just running and doing your own thing? There's nothing wrong with that. You can do that and enjoy yourself and enjoy your youth and enjoy your free time. And then perhaps later on, if you're ready to do that, maybe you don't even want to have children. You're okay with raising someone else's children or just having, adopting, whatever it may be. You at least want to get into that relationship knowing that, hey, I made the right choice. I made the right decision. This is what I want. I am ready. I understand. We are sharing the same core values. We have the same beliefs. We can grow together. They're open to me being a part of this family, learn together, building together. That's what's important. It is never, ever, ever just you and that man or you and that woman. Then you also look at the family dynamics of what their relationship is like with their ex-husband or their ex period, because that is also going to give you a pretty good idea of if this is something that you should want to do. So in a nutshell, dating someone with children is a huge deal. It's a lot to think about. It goes beyond just them being attractive and you having a lot in common and being able to laugh together and having chemistry, whatever you want to call that. There's way more to it, and you have to have a good heart. You have to be a person that's willing to share yourself and your time, and understanding there may be times that what you plan may not be able to happen. You can't do it because something comes up. Are you that person? If you are, then of course. If not, be honest with yourself and don't date a person with children. All right, guys, thank you for watching Big Sister, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.